Hi guys, those of you who are new here, I'm Wolsies. I'm a disabled gamer with a high-level spinal cord injury at C6, and the PlayStation have been ever so kind and sent me 2 of these bad boys. I mean, I would hold both up, but my hand's bad enough as it is, I can't really pick up one, let alone them both. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing them. I don't actually own a PlayStation at the moment, but PlayStation have been super kind to me and have sent me a PlayStation to keep. So a huge thank you to PlayStation for both these Access controllers and the PlayStation. Really appreciate it. So we're going to be unboxing these Access controllers today, and then when the PlayStation arrives, we're going to be testing them out, reviewing the Access controller. Let's start on unboxing this controller. Now you might be wondering, why on earth am I excited about a box, let alone the contents inside it? And I think it's because PlayStation have thought about both the accessible needs of the controller itself, but also about the individual opening the box. And that is one thing I normally really struggle with when it comes to anything through the post, whether it's Amazon packages or just something you buy in the shop. But PlayStation, having thought about this, have included these little loops just here and here. They're these 2 little loops that you can grab onto, supposedly with your thumb. I've never used these before, but I think that's how it works. And because my hands, with very poor movement in, are basically useless, I'm hoping it should work fine and we should be able to open the package with no issues at all. Let's see if that's true. Literally get my thumb in this little loop, if I can do it. Can't even do that. But that's my hands, because my hands are crap. Oh my. That is the easiest parcel I have ever undone. Get rid of that. That's gone on the floor. The house rabbits might eat that in a bit, but hopefully not. And then, I don't know if you can all see, but on there's another loop, which I'm assuming I am meant to use to open it up. And voila! That is the easiest box I have ever opened. So I think on the left-hand side, in this little package, we have the controller itself, which looks so little and small. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think a little bit bigger than this. But I quite like the size. I'm going to have to see what it's like with the buttons, actually, when we get to playing the PlayStation. But I like the size, because that's one thing I really struggle with. It's desk space and being able to make sure that I have got all my adaptions all fit on the same desk. And if you're like me and you don't have much space conservation is very important, but I gotta hope that these buttons are big enough for me to hit. So that is what we get in there. I'm gonna have to put somewhere for later on. To the instructions. I think this is just like the normal safety guide that you get so you don't break anything. Whoever reads these, not me. You probably are meant to read these, but I'm not going to read this. Goodbye, rubbish pile. And now, a very simple picture guide of how to install the Access controller on your PlayStation. And we will be looking at this in my next video when the PlayStation arrives on how we actually go about installing it. But I will include an image of this photo somewhere on my editing somewhere, probably up by my window. We'll put it where my window is. Where my window is right now, you will see a better picture of this instruction. And now to another really cute little box that I've got to move and make space for. This little box, and I don't know what's in there, but we can open it and have a look. But I need to move the big box first. Goodbye, big box. I don't know where to put this. We add it to the rubbish pile. We'll add it to the rubbish pile. When I say rubbish pile, it's basically on top of my work laptop. And now, let's have a look at this really cute little box and see what's inside it. More paper for the bin. First things first, a USB-C to USB-C cable. We'll put that by my mouse. And now I don't know if I should get all of these out, but if I move that close to the camera, you can see lots of little pedals in there, which I assume can be used to replace the little pedals. I'm assuming they're pedals. What does Sony call them? We're going to call them pedals. The little pedals around the Access controller. And we have got 4 different styles, which are a bit of a pain for me to pick up, but we're just going to think that by the time we've got them all set up and took off, we should be okay to manage them. But we'll look at them all on the controller and how they all work differently in a moment once we've got them all out. Now let's get this other one out. Another larger, thicker one with a rather chunky base. The next one looks a bit like a guitar pick. And finally, a larger one, which I think seems to be the width of 2 of the original little buttons on there already. Let's take some of the other ones off and put the rest of these on so we can see the different styles. And now I have to work out how on earth these come off, but I'm assuming it must be quite simple. But I think they've got lots of little buttons on the underside, and I think If I push those in, the little clips should come off and we should be able to replace every individual button, whatever we choose to do. Let's give that a go. Yeah, so that is the case. So they've got a little button on the underside, and as you push that in, that releases the individual pedal from that button space on the Access controller, allowing you to replace them. Let's take off, I think we need to take off 5 different ones to be able to see what these will look like on the Access controller. And that is the 5th one off. Now let's go put these on. I'm thinking they must just clip on. That's actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. As these are all numbered, I'm just going to go through each button corresponding to the number that they are on. Number 3 is a style of button that is attached to the Access controller when you unbox it. It's got a sort of like a curved top to it with some rough texture edges. Number 4 has a curved surface leading upwards and a thicker back. Number 5 is a flat surface going all the way down with a tiny little curved lip at the top. 6 and 7 are just the large curved surface covering 2 buttons. I'm not sure when in the PlayStation this will work as 1 button or 2. I'm assuming it will work as 1. And then on what would be number 8 is a larger button with the lip covering over the center button. And they are all the different button styles that come with the Access controller in my incredibly poor description of them. Whilst I was trying to pick up the Access controller to show you, I spotted there's some screw threads on the bottom of the Access controller. On the bottom of these screw threads, I'm assuming it means so that you can attach it securely to whatever kind of table or surface you would like to have it attached to. So if you're like me, where you sometimes have a spasm and might knock the device, you can securely attach it to your desk and it will not go anywhere. Now that we've ran through all the buttons, let's go look in the box and see what else we have. Now I'm going to do a thing I'm going to really regret. I'm just going to tip this out and get all the contents on my desk so that we can get the joystick head out, and then I suppose see what else is in there I might have missed. That's all the buttons and joystick heads out, but there's something else still stuck in here that I'm gonna have to get out manually. And it looks like some really cool little origami with little buttons that you would normally find on your DualSense PlayStation controller. And I'm assuming these little buttons pop into the holes on all the buttons that come with the Access controller. So when you've set up your key bindings on your PlayStation, you can remember what button is which, because otherwise, if you're like me, you will look down at this controller and just see loads of white buttons and forget what does which. And finally, let's look at the joystick heads. There are 3 different styles of joystick heads, which are all detachable with the magnet inside each of the joystick heads. There's an incredibly small one, like this, a bigger, flatter surface one, and one which I have just gone and dropped on the floor. A larger, round sphere one, which again disconnects to the joystick magnetically. All you do is place down the joystick head where the joystick goes, and the magnets will automatically click together and secure onto the Access controller. And to take it off, all you do is give it a little force, the magnets will come apart, and you can put whatever head you would like on your Access controller. Final thing I've spotted on the Access controller is the distance at which you can have the joystick away from the main buttons. There's a little lock button on here which you can press in to either lock it or unlock it, and then simply slide the joystick out to however far you would like it away from the main buttons. Simply push the button in to lock it, click it again to unlock it, and then slide it as far out as you would like, and then simply push the button in again to lock it in that position. On here there's also a profile button, but I'm sure we will explore that in the video when we get these connected up to the PlayStation. I'm really looking forward to the PlayStation arriving and being able to finally use these Access controllers on there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon where we will look at connecting both these Access controllers up to the PlayStation, how to set them up, and obviously some gameplay with the PlayStation and the Access controllers. See you soon.